have a lot of conversations with people about parenting. In fact, I go into people's homes, people come on my support group in my TSG community, all kinds of ways that I'm helping people. But there's some people who really want to know, what are the books though, Nicholeen? What are the key books about parenting and especially on being a calm parent that I should be looking for? So in this video, I'd like to focus on books on being a calm parent that can help you and your children have better relationships and better problem solving. Now this is a heavy heft. I'm not going to talk about all these, but I want you to know I've written 15 books about parenting and about self-government. Some of them are for children, some of them are for parents. What I'd like to focus on today is some of the key ones that you can use in order to find calmness in your parenting communications. I've been teaching about parenting, family communication through the lens of the principle self-government since 1999 when I was a really young mom and I started taking in therapeutic treatment care children into my home. I was raising my own children at the time and I was really trying to have all of the skills of self-government in place, and I recognized they hinged on this concept of calmness. And quite frankly, I did not have it at that time. I'd worked a lot on calmness over the years. I was definitely better than I was in my teen years, but I still needed a lot of help. I had frustrations as a young mom, and I needed to help these youth. I couldn't touch them. I couldn't hit them. There's different videos on this channel about spanking if you want to go into some of my opinions there. I needed to have calmness. And so I had to do a lot of inner work. And calmness is a mindset. It's a spiritual condition, actually, or a moral condition that a person has where they know what's right and wrong, good and bad, true and false, and they live according to right, good, and true. So you can be unaffected, but that doesn't mean you're calm. You can be indulged and feel pacified, but that's not calm. You can feel pleasure, but that's not calm. Calm is something much deeper, much more deliberate, and ultimately, it's a choice. Not just one choice, but many, many choices. So these books here, these are my most recent books at the time of filming this video, actually. So of the 15 books that I've written, these ones are the most recent. Now, when I started teaching about parenting, at first I just started teaching people the skills that they needed to communicate with their children, such as how to teach their children to disagree appropriately and to follow instructions, accept no answers, accept consequences, how they could correct their children, those types of things. But then I realized that it really hinges on this concept of calmness. In fact, every one of the 4 basic skills that we teach to children, the second step is to have a calm face, voice, and body, and we have to be able to teach that, which means the parents have to know it, which is what this whole book, The Power of Calm, is all about. It's about you, self-governing you, getting yourself to a place of calmness, which is the foundation for your absolute confidence. Then these books I also created for children at the same time. These are called the Calm Crew. They come in a pack of 3 books together. The first book is this one, Brain Power. It talks about what's going on in your brain when you are calm versus when you are not calm. So helps the child have some awareness of what they're trying to conquer when they're starting to go out of control and they're trying to pick that calmness instead. The second book here, Planning Power, helps the children create a calm plan for themselves. But when they're starting to go out of control, they have something to do to help themselves maintain their calmness. Then the last book, Choosing Power, talks about the power of choice and how to choose calmness in the minutes that seem very difficult. Minutes like stress and fear. How do I choose calmness? It is possible, and we talk about how. Now, there's one other book I want to show you today. I mean, I could go into detail about all my different books, and you can find them all at teachingselfgovernment.com. But this book here, Parenting a House United, is the main parenting book that I have. It's kind of the key piece to all of it. So if you are going to maintain your calmness, not only do you need to understand calmness, but you need to know the words to say so that in the moment when things are going wrong with the child, that you can help bring them back to a place of calmness. I had to create scripts for myself. In fact, I created cue cards, which you can also find on my website. I created cue cards for myself. I kept them in my pocket and I would pull them out and literally read off the script so that I could maintain my calmness, my self-government as I was trying to help with some of these teenage outbursts that were happening with some of the treatment children that came to live with me as foster children. This book teaches you how to set up the environment where you know what to say. So after you've done some study on calmness, how your brain works, and creating a plan for yourself, then you'll need the words to say in the moment to not repeat the old mistakes, the way that you have been parenting and doing things that have led you to not be calm. So this one is key as far as books go. I have courses, trainings, all kinds of things that you can find at teachingselfgovernment.com. However you learn best. There's even a TSG community. So that as you start learning these things, you can learn with a group of people and get mentored along the way. If you're struggling with calmness, you don't need to feel alone. You don't need to feel like there's nobody else out there who's having that same struggle. People contact me daily because they are having the struggle with calmness. They need it for themselves and their children, and they get the help that they need. The other day, I was talking with a father who used to hit his children because he would go out of control. And he said, you know what, I was convinced we can't have any other children. I just need to get through this time with these kids and get back to what I considered regular life when they're all grown up. He wasn't enjoying it. And then he learned the skills and principles of self-government. He learned about his own calmness, and he gave himself permission to rein himself in. And now he's teaching this to other people, and he's like, now I feel like I could have as many children as I want because I know what to say, I know what to do. I don't think he's gonna, just populate the whole earth himself, but he doesn't feel like that's a barrier for him anymore. He and his wife now are helping other families learn happiness because they learned the words to say. So happy to help you with any of that. Go to teachingselfgovernment.com. You can find tons more information there and even some free gifts for you. I'll see you there.